I'll start talking when more people get here, but I can just start talking now. Welcome to F123 Racing Series, Season 3, Round 8, around the Bahrain International Circuit, located in the lone island off the coast of Saudi Arabia and Qatar. A very interesting track to tackle, one of the more classics into league racing, you can say. And it's a bit, it's obviously expected that almost in every single racing league on any F1 game, any racing game that contains the Bahrain Grand Prix, Bahrain will obviously be on the calendar. So, it's going to be a lot to watch today. If I just find the track here, let's give you a quick rundown. The Bahrain International Circuit, also known as the Desert Circuit, opened in 2004. However, there was obviously the main comment about in real life, obviously, with sand from around the track to obviously go onto the circuit, which could have been a bit treacherous. However, designed by Herman Tilke in obviously to be output in 2004, a 5.412 kilometer circuit containing 15 corners, 3 DRS zones, a long max straight in between turns 13 and 14, which obviously is expected to go hammer to the floor where you land what will be your first DRS section zone of a quali lap, and you stream down the start-finish straight to start your lap. You're going to turn 1, about gear 3, third gear, coming through there nicely, and obviously then you get your second DRS straight, and then you launch into sector 2, which is a bunch of S's. You've got a couple turns, and then the hardest corner of the circuit, a very big pressure point, can be sometimes an overtaking opportunity if somebody goes too deep, which is the downhill turn 10. A very treacherous corner, a very dangerous one. Needs to everyone be watching out for that. Also, where can be the overtaking opportunities on this circuit? Turn 1 will definitely be a big factor in going into the first lap of this Grand Prix. Turn 4 can also be a good factor straight back after a second DRS, where someone who's gone overtake can immediately catch straight back up to his opponent and obviously overtake him. If maybe not at turn 11, but the turn 11 exit is going to be key for any overtakes, because mistakes will be made on that corner. It will be expected to see, and obviously, but all the straights will definitely have a very good level of opportunity for overtaking. So, we are going to qualifying now. A short qualifying, 18 minutes. At the moment, 13 drivers. Don't know if more will be joining or not. This is probably not the greatest attendance we've had so far this season. So, what else is there to talk about this track? DRS detections points. So, we obviously spoke about the one before turn 14, but there's also one before turn 1, which also counts as the speed trap, and there's also one right before the turn 9 and 10 downhill section. Drivers already making their way out on track, so we are going to immediately jump onto that right now. So, who do we have? We have Ostblock in the Williams, currently on the soft compound tyre. Speaking of tyres, let's look at the tyres. So, everyone's going straight out, all on softs. They know they need to go all out power. They're getting the heat into the tyres, and just a massive wall of drivers will come out for their first laps, which is obviously expected. And if we look around, we see that more and more drivers are making their way out of the pits. We've got 2 Ferraris out of Ethan Ninja and Chill Apex. We've got a McLaren of Eiffel out on track. Or is that Balance? I'm not sure. I really should check right now. It is Eiffel that we were just talking about. We have the AlphaTauri of Jakub Jakonjuk. I'm pretty sure that is. Yes. We have Eiffel's teammate, Balance. I don't know. I'm not probably be the best at pronouncing these names. Another AlphaTauri of Marder. It's horribly pronounced, probably as well. British Giants out on track as well as we can see in Alfa Romeo of Barney. 2, I think that's Red Bulls of Lacko and King. as everyone but Lethal Pete are now out on track. Will he go out as well, as Eiffel goes straight into a bollard there? Bit of a mistake then. It's probably not going to affect much. He may get in. He might have gotten invalidation. Didn't actually check. But anyway, Os B taking the first lap of this Bahrain qualifying session. What will the Williams driver set? We will find out. Going into turn 1, the Williams hits the apex cleanly as he dashes through the first sequence of corners, turns 1, 2, and 3. Down the second DRS straight, he's going to go pedal to the metal as he's going to go down into turn 4. A very tricky corner that you cannot get wrong for a quality lap like this, and any mistakes can be extremely punishable for other drivers to get quicker lap times. So 28.826 is the Sector 1 time as they dash into turn 8 and making their way to the next DRS straight. Travelling down towards turns 9 and 10. Osblock needs to make it perfect, and he's done pretty well. A bit of a lock-up, but it's probably expected with the assist that he probably has on as he channels down into turn 11. Same as turn 4. Any mistakes can be extremely punishable, not only in qualifying with other lap times, but on the race too, which can open up a very easy overtaking spot for any other drivers. A 107.1 is set in Sector 2. What will the Williams put onto the board as he dashes towards the final 2 corners? He will need to go master these next 2 corners on board with the Williams driver. What will he set? The lone Williams driver today. He's going to cross the line. He's going to set a 129.0. A very good lap as the 2 Ferraris of Chill Apex and Ethan ready to cross the line. Ethan goes 5 seconds off, so all of these are probably not going to be serious actual proper laps being put in. The next cross line will be Jakub Kuba down the straight, crosses the line. That's not, I don't think, an actual lap either. The McLaren of Balance, is he on a lap? I don't actually think so. What about Kuba's teammate? Lostbox just really rapid, as everyone's just setting it out, not even into the 129s. Mardar goes P3. The Mercedes of British Giants, he's going to cross the line. He goes 3rd place. The Alfa Romeo of Barney behind him goes 7/10 out. The 2 Red Bulls now is going to be Lacko and King. Lacko goes P8 and King goes P9. So that's probably not an actual lap. BDP around the final corner. That's looking like a quick Sector 2. He could get within that 3/10 benchmark, but he goes P3 just behind his teammate. Couple hundredths as Mr. Lethal P is making his way out on the circuit. Oxblogs, obviously, most of the drivers now, after their 1 lap, they're going to go into the pits, wait it out a bit, and go once again. What will they set for the second one? Hopefully a bit better, as there'll be more grip onto the circuit. And we'll see how all of that goes. But I think Eiffel is going again. No, he's not. He's slowing down now. And now drivers already going back to the pits. You see Osblock, Eiffel, Chill Apex, Ethan Ninja. What else do we have? Maybe Kuba can set something. Is he setting anything? No, he does not. Eiffel's teammates, he's going to go into the pits too. Is anybody going to set a lap right now? Doesn't seem like it. No. Yeah, I think we're just going to go through that waiting period of somebody to finally go out on track and set a lap time. But for now, Jakob's going again, Kuba's going again, as he's making his way down towards the downhill corner. He's 4 times up on his Sector 1. Hopefully he can set an even quicker lap here, and we'll see how he does. Yellow flags in the Sectors 1 on the start-finish straight, as I think, Mr. Lethal Pete is now on his lap time. We'll check in when Kuba crosses the line. round. He's 5 tenths up, so he's going into provisional P4 if he continues at this pace as he goes full send down the back straight into the final 2 corners. What will the AlphaTauri set? It's obviously the AlphaTauri was a team before he got rebranded to VCarb. But anyway, Kuba crosses the line and he goes P4, like I said earlier. What about his teammate? He's up by 2 tenths, so he could slot into P6, overtaking British Giant. Going down the straight, he's actually going to the pits instead, although being up on his lap. So we're now going to focus directly onto the Mercedes of Mr. Lethal Pete as he makes his way through turn 11. Let's go on board with the Mercedes driver. Let's see what his Sector 2 will look like. 107.1 was from Ostblock. He sets a 108.4. So 1.3 seconds off the pace. So he will be slotting around where his teammate is at the moment. As he goes down the back straight, what will he set going into the final 2 corners? Obviously, clean air ahead of him. As Mr. Lethal Pete crosses the line, he's going to set a 138, going P9. So, obviously, time needs to be made up going down those final 2 corners, as it looks like he should have gone a bit quicker than obviously set right now. But Chill Apex 44 making his way down the straight, ready to restart his lap. Obviously, 4.5 seconds off Ostblock's first lap time. So other drivers are already putting on new softs, as you can see. Some drivers on 0 laps softs, so that means they're fresh. So let's just get rid of that tyre thing for now. Chill Apex making his way through turn 4. Is he up on his Sector 1? He will be by 10th. So obviously I don't know if he was just going slowly through either Sector 2 or Sector 3, but we'll find out when he goes through turn 12. But anyway, Chill Apex, down the hill he goes. Goes a bit wide, but does a good cut in and is doing well so far. The Ferrari, his teammate going through turns 13, going down the back straight, going to start his lap. As yellow flags through turn 4, which was, I'm guessing, the Alfa Romeo of BDP. But I'm not entirely sure, as he's 2 seconds up. 2.4 seconds up, which will put him into P10 at the moment. So top 10 qualifying, obviously, you can't complain with that. But anyway, around the final corner, yellow flags, that's Barney this time, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, down the straight, Chill Apex. What will he say? Looks like a 131. It is. It's a 131.2, which does slot him into P10. The McLaren of Eiffel, who is down on his lap and goes straight back into the pits. Next to, he will be starting his lap, it will be Barney. Next driver to actually cross the line and put a lap onto the board. Looks like to be Lacko, but he is down by 2 tenths in his Sector 1, but maybe he'll make it up here. The Red Bull, his teammate up the road on an out lap, ready to start his lap, King D. So he's still down, so he needs to find some speed through these corners to gain 5 tenths and beat Chill Apex and go back into the top 10. But as he goes down into the final corner, I don't think he'll do it. He goes gear 3 and he is diving for the pits. Chill Apex, his teammate Ethan Ninja, 3 tenths up on his lap. Obviously, so he must have gone. He's set 111. So this is obviously not gonna put them in. This is gonna keep him in P13. There we go. I can say it. As drivers are starting lap times, the Mercedes is going to the pits, although only being 65,000. So he must have made a mistake going into turn 14 and 15. Ferrari of Chill Apex, who I'm guessing will go into the pits, but no, he will start another lap. Let's see how he shapes up. This is his 4th lap in this qualifying. The Alfa Romeo of Barney improves his lap time, goes 2 tenths behind Ostblock. Mercedes of Mr. Lethal Pete is going into the pits. He's invalidated. Barney's teammate, BDP, a 10th up, so he'll keep his 3rd place and closes the gap to now being only within the 5/10ths barrier to Ostblock, which will be nice to see. Could they push for the final stint? We'll see. Red Bull of King, he's a 2nd up, so obviously improved by quite some time as he beats his teammate and puts it P11. AlphaTauri of, I'm guessing, Marder, yes, he will be starting his lap time. Let me go onto the actual stream so I can see what that says. By the way, guys, can somebody just make sure that you guys can hear me? So if you guys can hear me, just type like I can hear you in the chat, so I can make sure you guys can like. It's just like I'm not talking to nobody. All right, good. That's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you. Right, so let me go into the stream. Let me see what. Yeah. So yeah, this is how you would basically expect the qualifying to go. I mean, Lost Block obviously taking. I mean, Williams have been doing quite well so far this season, and good for them. Obviously, BDP going to go into the pits once again. AlphaTauri of Marder, a 10th up. Can he push for P6 and unite with his teammates onto the 3rd row? Going down the back straight, going to go into turns 14 and 15. What will the AlphaTauri set? Go putting all he can, pushing all the way he can, and he stays at P7, only 2,000s off the Mercedes. As the Williams of Ostblock starting his lap, can he extend the gap to Barney and BDP? Fair enough. 128. Can he get into that? Is a good question. As Kuba crosses the line, he sets a 129.5, which puts him into P4, only 5/10ths off. The Red Bull behind him of, I think that was Lacko, still not improving. I'm guessing that was an outlap, as I thought was retired from the session at turn 4. Mercedes of Iron, Mr. Lethal Pete starting his lap time. Ethan retires from the session, and he will be starting last for definite. That also depends if somebody gets a grid penalty. What does Ostblock said? Does he improve? Narrowly, 128.9, and he will most likely get pole. And that also depends if Kuba decides to set an absolute world-class lap time, as he's trying to get into the pits as quickly as possible. When he have the time. I think he's out of fuel as well. So, Can you guys stop giving yellow flags? I want to see how much time's left. 1 minute 37. So yeah, that's Kuba's qualifying. I think over. The drivers out on track will make it. That also depends if they're setting a lap right now. First person to cross the line will be the AlphaTauri. 1.5 seconds, but he's down 0.2. So it looks like that will be his qualifying basically done and dusted. As he's got 0 ERS, so I think that'll be it for Mardar. Would he be going into the pits? I think so. Williams of Ostblock, he's obviously going to go into the pits. So, basically qualifying's done here. Ostblock will be on pole position, which will obviously give some people happiness as he goes into the pits as other drivers starting their actual laps. British Giant is a lot up on his lap time. He's only 6 tenths off Ostblock, so he will be going to the top 5, it seems to be. And let's go on board with the Mercedes driver. British Giant into turns 14 and 15. Around the final corner. British Giant sets a 129.8, which puts him into P5. And that is qualifying done and dusted. I don't think Ballantyre will be improving. Mr. Lethal in the pits. King D is improving. He needs a lot of time to gain to chill Apex to get into that top 10. Will he do it? Doesn't look like he can. As through, he's only 2 tenths up. He needs to make up another extra 2 tenths down this back straight and the final 2 corners if he wants to get into the top 10. Around the final corner, the Red Bull will be setting what seems to be a 131, but what will be the last decimal point, a 131.2, which keeps him in P11. Balance overtakes his teammate by 5 thousandths. And that is practically qualifying over. And it's Ostblock on pole position for the Bahrain Grand Prix. 29 laps of racing action will unfold today.
The United Kingdom has achieved more World Drivers' Championships than any other country, over a quarter of which were won by...
You just gave the paddock person to give you a little fact there. But qualifying's over. Ostblock is on pole in the Williams. Then it's the 2 Alfa Romeos of Barney and BDP. AlphaTauri with Kuba. British Giant in the Mercedes, followed by 2 McLarens of Balance and Eiffel, separated by only 4 thousandths of a second. Then it's the other Mercedes of Lethal Pete. Then it's Mardar in 9th in the AlphaTauri, followed by Chill Apex, the 2 Red Bulls of King and Lacko, and Ethan Ninja rounds out the qualifying standings, failing to even put in a proper lap time. We will see how this race goes, and let's see. Kuba did get to corner cutting, but that was obviously to go back into the pits. We all saw that moment there. I mean, it is the 29.5 lap, but I'm not sure if that will count it as an in-lap or out-lap, so. We obviously can't determine if he actually did corner cut for that or not. But anyway, going into this Grand Prix now, a Williams and an Alfa Romeo on the front row, which will, in actual F123 circumstances, would be absolutely impossible to see in real life. To see Nicholas Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou on the front row. Alex Albon, maybe, instead of Nicholas Latifi. Wait, Latifi wasn't in 23. Yeah, he weren't, which is sad to see. I miss Latifi. But anyway, formation lap, if I had to guess, yes, we do have one. So, what's the predicted tyre strategies? If I had to say, probably a 1-stop or a 2-stop will obviously be on the cards, obviously depending if there'll be any safety cars. If you go to tyres, mediums or hards, which is obviously expected. As 2 drivers already disqualified. so their tyres will be cold and they will not have a great start going into this Grand Prix. Ostblock on pole, as you can clearly see. On the medium compound tyre, which will be put onto hards. I don't know why they've decided to put the soft one on there when nobody's on the softs. Nice one, AI. Barney and BDP in second and third, the two Alfa Romeo drivers, followed by Kuba Yakonyuk in P4. In P5, we have British Giants, 6th Balint, 7th Eiffel, 8th Lethal Pete, 9th Mardar, 10th Chill Apex, 11th King D, 12th Lacko, and rounding out the grid today will be Ethan Ninja in 13th in the Ferrari. One of the lowest attendances I've seen this season. I think the lowest I've seen was 16. So, yeah. To be fair, I think 20 people did tick. So I don't know why there's only 13 on the track right now. But anyway, the drivers lining up onto the grid now. We're about to get underway for the Bahrain Grand Prix in the F123 Racing Series in Season 3, Round 8. Here we go. And we're ready to go now. 5 red lights will flash onto those, as you can see there. 5 red lights. And it's go, go, go. It's a great start for Ostblock. As you can see, a jump start from Ethan Ninja. Barreling towards turn 1. It will be the Williams ahead, it seems. Unless Barney sets in a risky move. And that's a Mercedes going wide. That is, I think, Lethal Pete. But everyone's coming out unscathed as a driver goes wide. As drivers barreling towards turn 4. Massive battle in the midfield as the two McLarens fights for P4, but Eiffel gets ahead as the top 3 already dashing away from the rest of the pack. Yellow flags with Ethan Ninja as nearly a spin there, it seems, from Kuba. Down the hill into turn 10. And more drivers going wide, they will be getting corner cut warnings. Track limit infringements. As Kuba is right on the back of the McLaren of Balint, he dashes to the right but tucks back inside. Right behind, he's waiting for a mistake, but his teammate Eiffel up the road actually made a mistake instead. But Kuba will try and get to the run, but he once again tucks back behind. And unlike F124, we will not have DRS just yet. But Balint is going to send it on his teammate, and as Eiffel goes wide, Balint goes too deep, and it's almost 3 wide as Kuba gets pushed off the track and drops to P7. What is going on with the interval times? As Kuba is fighting British Giants side by side through the S section, keeping behind the AlphaTauri. On board with the Red Bull here, right behind Chill Apex. As we have a couple of drivers fighting here for positions, and we also have here with Kuba. Oh my god, what is this? Oh my god, why is the interval glitching right now? I do not need this. Just don't need this, do I? But anyway, Eiffel keeping behind his team after making a mistake into turn 1. All that was tactical. Down the straight, Eiffel is going to turn to the right. Yes, he will. DRS is enabled now as he breezes past his teammate, but Balance is keeping there, and he would have DRS into this next DRS straight. Bit of a tap there, but Eiffel stays ahead. Not stays, gets ahead. But his teammate will have the DRS, and these two will seem to be fighting. Will be fighting throughout this entire race, as the top 3 within are seconds apart from each other. 1 second apart from each other. Balance is looking for moves, because you can already tell, as you can read Eiffel's line. Will he find a flaw, and can he pounce onto it to get back into P4? We'll see. DRS enabled as he pulls to the left and will send it. No, he won't. It's tucked behind him, which can allow British Giant to make a move. He pulls to the right, nearly contact between the two, as there's massive barging, and British Giant goes off the track. So does Balance, and Kubert pounces and gets into P6. We didn't get the clearest view of that, which is a bit of a shame. Kuba lags back a bit there, as British Giant now has an opportunity as he overtakes the AlphaTauri quite easily, obviously with the DRS. And look at his pace. His setup's really benefiting him as he sends it down the inside on Balance, and he goes up into P5. 2 moves on the straight. Obviously, that setup was built for straight line speed, as Kuba gets past the McLaren 2. As Balance just decided to absolutely send it on British Giant, really not needed them. An obvious purpose will be seen by the FIA and will be reviewed, I think. British Giant will not have DRS. And it seems to be a layer of crashes ready to... Will there be any crashes is a bigger question. Ethan Ninja dropping back very, very far as Kuba looking for moves on Balance after being overtaken on the DRS straight. Kuba's teammate not far behind, only 1.5 seconds off the pace, and with this DRS strain we could see the Chilapex, Lethal Pete and Mardar to catch up as Kuba overtakes Balance with quite a lot of ease. So does Lethal Pete, as Balance tried to send it, hasn't worked for him. Up at the front, BDP trying to fight Barney as he's closed the gap a bit. 6 tenths now behind. Nothing much going on at the moment, as BDP is actually going to be overtaking Barney now, which will be expected as he does have the DRS. Not anyone making a lot of moves. No moves yet from anyone on the grid. A British giant looking for moves as Eiffel goes wide and Mercedes pounces onto the opportunity. Why is the camera stuck on this? Thank you. Anyway, British giant stays behind, however, and Kuba can make a move here. Eiffel will be at a disadvantage here and could be overtaken by either British or Kuba. As British Giant makes descend, and there's massive contact, and Eiffel spun round. And Balint also clips and doesn't expect it. As side by side goes British and Kuba. And that's the first spin of the day. That is caused by another driver. As the two McLarens now drop to 8th and 10th, they need a lot of pace to catch back up to the previous DRS train, but they also need to pit for repairs. Don't know if Eiffel has to. No, he doesn't. He stays out, but Balint does. Obviously, he did hit the other drivers. Kuba gets ahead of British Giant, which is nice to see, which was obviously also expected, as British Giant is definitely going to clap back in, going down into turn 4. Actually, no. Except from the drive-through penalty from Ethan Ninja, we haven't had any actual What? Oh! British Giant making a very risky send, and it hasn't worked out for him, actually. He does have the DRS, however, so he will probably overtake here. As the yellow flies, that's Iron Marder, and you can see Eiffel going wide in the background. What the hell was going on outside? Sorry, guys, but right in front of, right outside my flat. And they all like playing football and shit. I don't know. Anyway, through the final corner, Kuba will stay ahead of a British Giant. Which is obvious. British Giants gets ahead of Kuba on the DRS straight. Will Kuba have the DRS? I'm not sure. I think he will. Yes, he does. Now, he's chasing down as Ethan Ninja retired, and it's a full course safety car as he's crashed on the apex. He's had a spin into the gravel, which has obviously caused him to slam into the barriers. So that's the first safety car of the day. That's my first snack break. But Ostblock's slowly building gap will be immediately cut, which probably will not be liked by Ostblock. So now we wait. As Kuba has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that's obviously cost him some. That will cost him some time, as he will need to pit again and serve that 5 second. So now we have to wait some time. Queue's already forming. Safety car will be going in next lap, I'm pretty sure. So we don't have a lot of time to wait for. So we don't have to wait long now. Go straight to the leader now. Is he going in? He's not? Yes, he is. Alright. Anyway, Osblock, when will he go? He goes now! And he hasn't really made a lot of time, as BDP is actually closing in on the Williams as we are back underway for the Bahrain Grand Prix in the F123 Racing Series. Very quiet at the moment, very calm. Not for long. as everyone just tiptoeing around. You can see some jostling for positions in the background. Let's see what we have here. As the Mercedes, Mr. Lethal Pete gets a good move down the inside into turn 11 to get ahead of Chilapex. But Chilapex with the switchback and gets ahead, actually. So, turns out the Ferrari will stay ahead. Bit of a interesting fight for positions here as Eiffel is catching up to the Mercedes. Eiffel's still behind. As he's had a spin, I think his teammate did clip him in the rear, which is sad to see, as a switch of positions here between Barney and BDP. No overtakes just yet, as Cooper does run a bit wide there. As DRS is finally enabled and Barney will have it to fight Osblock here. Barney not able to catch the Williams. Also, Red Bull needs to pray for one more DNF, or they will be the only team to not score points, although they have two drivers. To be fair, every team does have two drivers on the grid today, except for Williams. Eiffel overtakes Mr. Lethal Pete further down the order. But here comes Barney. Will we finally have a leader change into turn 1? Will Osblock go deep? No, he doesn't. Osblock is just not making any mistakes, no matter how much pressure Barney puts on him. But this will be the moment as Barney takes the lead for the first time in this Grand Prix. We have a leader change and we have a new leader of Barney in the Alfa Romeo. Oh shit, they came up to my window. They just came up to my window. I think I'm being a bit too loud. Fuck. They're gone now. Anyway, back to the race now, shall we? Bit of a wide moment there from Eiffel. What is going on? I think Osblock. Barney's trying everything for Osblock to not overtake him. And will he send it to turn 1? No, he doesn't. He stays behind. And this will shape up into into the next DRS straight quite well for the Williams. Or maybe not. That exit was just not good. And Barney's teammate, BDP, is actually catching up to him. Not anymore. Maybe this time for the Williams or Ostblock. Barney knows exactly what he's doing. This will definitely be the straight. And it will be the straight. The Ostblock overtakes Barney and goes back into the lead of this Grand Prix. Yellow flag, that's Marder, who's had a spin at the exit of turn 15. It's too late to see what's happened now, as Barney could be losing his position to his teammate. As Ostblock is out of DRS range to Barney. DRS activated for VDP. And there he goes to the left, and BDP overtakes Barney with quite ease. Will Barney overtake his teammate once again? But around the outside goes Barney to overtake. Oh fuck. I'm so tired, man. Anyway. Bit of a ram from Eiffel on Mr. Lethal Pete. As very weird lines are being taken as the fight for P6 just keeps on brewing and brewing more. BDP obviously overtaking Barney due to DRS. Down the straight, almost 3 wide, going to turn 1 as a good back out from Chill Apex. Very wise moment there. Can he overtake Mr. Lethal Pete? No, he can't. At the moment, everything at a stalemate. Barney's in the pits. Interesting. So is Kuba, who will have the 5-second stop and go. Kuba comes out in P10. Which means we'll have a big mountain to climb. People will obviously make a move on King D here around the outside, but no, King D keeps him out. Bit of a barging there. Eiffel now in the pits. as Kuba is ahead as well. I4 goes with the soft compound tyre. Interesting move, if I was to be completely honest. Oh, what the hell is going on outside? But I swear to God, they're right up my window. Are they like trying to watch the races with me or something? Like, I feel genuinely terrified. Barney will obviously overtake Mr. Lethal Pete here. He even does it before the DRS straight. In fairness. Tactical maneuver to get the DRS there, as Balint is in the pits. BDP now in the pits and comes out in P5, which is also quite far behind his teammate, as it was earlier. Question is, when will, if OST block will pit. BDP overtakes Lethal Pete, which I guess will be pitting this lap. Or not. What on earth is going on outside? I swear to God. British Giant going to be overtaken. Just like that. Now, when will OST pit? As everyone is a second back from each other. As we wait till lap 29, as OST Block will be winning this Grand Prix. That also depends if he doesn't DNF. That could spice things up. As Kuba and Lethal Pete fighting for P5 here. Obviously, I'm guessing Kuba has the better tyres. Yeah, he does. So eventually Pete will lose that 5th place. Over to the right. And around the outside he'll try to go. Actually tried to do the switchback, but he was too far close to actually switch sides of the track. We are on the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Surprisingly, no penalties. seen lots of track limit infringements. So if I had to guess, it's on regular corner cut. So. Jesus Christ. Pete keeping up the fight to Kuba here. Even on 11 lap older mediums. As Ostblock starts the final lap of this Grand Prix. Ooh, massive mistake from Lethal Pete, and Kuba overtakes him. Kuba will also have DRS, and that is P5 lost for the Mercedes driver. OST Block wins! The Bahrain Grand Prix, I didn't even realise, I was just more focused on Barney, but anyway, OST Block wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. Barney comes home in second place, and BDP will be in third, rounding out the podium. That is race over. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.